In the Horn of Africa, a silent power struggle is reshaping the fate of an entire region. At the center, Somaliland, a territory fighting for recognition and a future that could upend economic realities for millions. What happens when international borders are redrawn and the control of critical ports and trade routes hangs in the balance? How do decisions made in distant boardrooms and government halls ripple through local markets, global shipping lanes, and the lives of everyday people? In this video, we dive deep into the high-stakes business behind Somaliland's quest for legitimacy. From shifting investment flows to the race for strategic infrastructure, discover how recognition isn't just about politics. It's about the future of commerce in one of Africa's most vital crossroads. Stay with us as we unravel the real business issue at the heart of international recognition and why the world is watching. Somalia's concern over the international recognition of Somaliland is, at its core, a business issue. The stakes are enormous because recognition would fundamentally shift the balance of economic power in the region. Imagine if a major city suddenly became its own country and took control of the busiest airport or seaport in your nation. Overnight, the flow of goods, money, and influence could change dramatically. If Somaliland is recognized, it could take control of key trade routes and ports, like Berbera, which sits on the Gulf of Aden, one of the world's busiest maritime corridors. This would allow Somaliland to attract shipping traffic and customs revenue that currently flow through Mogadishu, potentially diverting millions of dollars away from Somalia's government and businesses. International banks and investors, always seeking stability and new opportunities, might redirect capital to Hargeisa, Somaliland's capital, eager to tap into a newly recognized state with untapped markets and resources. For Somalia, this could mean losing access to vital foreign investment, development funds, and even international aid, as global institutions may choose to work directly with Somaliland instead. The markets at stake are not just local. Somalia and Somaliland are gateways for trade across the Horn of Africa, connecting landlocked Ethiopia and even South Sudan to global markets. If Somaliland gains recognition, it could negotiate its own trade agreements, set its own tariffs, and control the flow of goods to and from its ports, much like how Singapore transformed itself into a global shipping hub. This is not simply a story about flags or borders. It is about who controls the arteries of commerce, the movement of goods, the flow of money, and the opportunities that shape the future of one of Africa's most strategic and dynamic regions. In global commerce, recognition functions as economic legitimacy. Recognized entities can open correspondent banking relationships, access international payment systems, secure trade finance and letters of credit, and operate under internationally recognized commercial law. Without recognition, businesses face higher costs. Payments are routed through intermediaries, insurance premiums rise, and contracts carry legal uncertainty. Recognition reduces these frictions. For Somalia, this means a potential loss of economic centrality. Ports are among the most valuable economic assets in the region. They generate revenue through customs duties, port handling fees, transit and storage charges, and employment and service industries. Recognition would allow Somaliland's ports to operate as fully independent commercial hubs, negotiating directly with global shipping companies, logistics firms, and foreign governments. This would divert trade and revenue flows away from Somalia's federal framework. Investment decisions are driven by risk. Investors assess political stability, regulatory clarity, contract enforcement, and access to finance. Recognition significantly lowers perceived risk. Lower risk leads to cheaper capital, larger investments, and longer project timelines. Without recognition, investors remain cautious. With it, capital flows more freely. Somalia fears that recognition would permanently redirect investment. Recognition would transform access to finance. It would enable, direct engagement with international banks, participation in global financial institutions, and access to development and commercial lending. This kind of financial independence would weaken Somalia's role as the primary economic intermediary. In business terms, this really represents a loss of market share. Large infrastructure projects, well, they really require long-term confidence. Recognition enables things like multi-decade financing, public-private partnerships, and, large-scale logistics and industrial projects. Once infrastructure is built, economic patterns become fixed. Somalia fears not just immediate losses, but, honestly, permanent structural change. Recognition would introduce a new competitor in the regional economy. A recognized Somaliland could, for example, compete for foreign direct investment, market itself as a logistics gateway, and, establish itself as a regional business hub. Competition, in this context, is not political. It is commercial. Somalia's concern over recognition is really rooted in economics, because recognition determines who markets trust, where money flows, and which systems investors choose. In the global economy, legitimacy is currency. And once markets decide where to place their trust, that decision is rarely reversed. This is not a question of sovereignty, but of who controls the flows of capital that shape the region's future.